Nice, Andy's already here. Damn, you don't mess it out. Evening. You're in here before I'm even ready. Just putting my gloves on quickly. Gonna try and finish this other side tonight. And I think I've knocked my audio up slightly because I think it was a little low last time. So hopefully you can't just hear me breathing, because there's nothing worse than somebody breathing. Okay. Okay, why is my microscope input completely black? Oh, what's going on? Let's try unplugging it, plugging it back in. Okay, apparently I have no input for my microscope. I'm gonna try turning it off and on. Okay, welcome back. Just having issues with my microscope for some reason. It's not showing up in OBS. I have no idea why. Which is not good because it was working perfectly fine yesterday. Everything seems to be plugged in up the top here. But when I go to my microscope on OBS, nothing is showing up. I've tried deactivating and reactivating it. That is not good. I'm going to try unplugging the microscope and stuff and knocking it off and on again. Hopefully that works. It was like glitching out a bit earlier on me though, so I'm hoping there's not a problem with it. Because I haven't had it that long. Okay, see if it works now. No, still have a black screen. That's awfully strange. I don't know what's going on there. Let me just check all the connections at the back of the computer quickly, just in case. Is that working now? No. Seemed like one of the cables wasn't in all the way, just plugged all the way in, but it's still not showing up. I know, plug it in the back of the computer quickly. See if this makes any difference. Typical tough problems when I'm not expecting them. These are all plugged in fine on the back. Alright. Still does not seem to be working. Oh, okay, it's working. I think I just needed to deactivate and activate it one last time. I must have fixed it the first time when the HDMI cable wasn't like fully seated all the way in. so I didn't have to crawl under my desk and struggle. But there you go. Now we can actually see. So that's good. Just focus this quickly. Yeah, I have no idea how I managed to unplug that. It must have not been plugged in properly, like all along. Maybe, I don't know. It's typical. Also, have you got any recommendations for like a good soldering wick? I know a lot of people recommend, it's called Super Wick. I'm just thinking something with a higher braid count. Maybe I'm not going to have to swap it out as often because it's going to be able to hold more solder. And I'm down to like my last cheap reel of solder wick right now. Not this one, but the other one I have. So we'll try to clear these ones out now. Hopefully it goes a bit better than yesterday because they didn't want to clear up at all yesterday. Okay, we're having a stubborn one again. All right, after a great start. I'm going to knock on my fume extractor. Here's a mechanic rosin one. Okay. I'll have to have a look at that. Did you get it off AliExpress, I assume? Okay. None of these want to actually desolder today after a really, really good start. Okay, nice. Yeah, I need to buy some more stuff on AliExpress soon anyway. I really need something to like hold like tweezers and stuff like that, I think. Because they just get in the way constantly. I've got a massive amount of, like, I bought a fairly large desk and I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be more than enough room. Turns out it's not. I filled it up in like straight away in like 2 seconds. Okay, well, I'm not any luck with any of these today. We will try again. Grab another bit of solder. I'm not too sure what the other brand one I've got here is. It's like a cheap one. I'll quickly switch to the overhead. Oh, is the top down even? No, the top down needs activating and deactivating as well, I think. 1 second. Top down camera. Deactivate. Activate. There you go. So let's move this out of the way. I think when I unplugged everything, I plugged it back in. I like glitched everything out. This is the other brand of solder wick I got. Obviously a really good wick. Every notice of Lee Favor. Desoldering wick, low residue. I think I got this one from Amazon haul, so I'm expecting it to be like absolutely atrocious. I think it's a bit wider than the one I've got now. This one is a 2.5 and this is a 3.5. Yes, this is wider. I kind of like the 2.5 though, to be honest. But I am going to have to like probably invest in like a half decent wick, because I think it's going to make this so much easier, because I do quite a lot of wicking until I get a hot air station, and then I probably would just solder suck them and use a little bit of wick just to make it a bit neater. Let's see if we can actually get any of these cleared out, or if they're going to continue to be stubborn. There should be some lead solder mixed in from when I originally tinned them up, and then also removed the ports. And I'm on 370 degrees. I normally have decent results on that temperature, because it's quite a large tip, this K-tip. I'm just going to not going to look at the microscope screen and just do it with my eye. And normally that goes better. Okay, no, none of them want to clear out. Okay, not having the best of luck here with any of these today. I might just quickly add a little bit of leaded solder on these and then give it a go. Maybe there's not enough on there. Because out of all the controllers I've done, I've never had any that have this much issue. Can actually get some contact with that. That should definitely be all the way through. Okay, hopefully we have better luck wicking this up now. There's nothing more frustrating when things don't go right. Especially when it's something you've done many times before. You're like, yeah, this is easy, no problem. I guess it keeps things interesting though. Okay, I cannot get any of these to wick up today. Jeez, that was absolutely ridiculous. That should not have taken that long to clear them out. And I think only 2 of them are actually clear. This is painful right now. Normally I find it like quite therapeutic, but like, yeah, trying to clear these right now, I'm just like, oh no, fuck my life. try to clean some of this shit off here. Okay. Now we're looking. I think them other two are still blocked up. Yep. And yes. And I'm never going to reach them with wick. I might just solder suck some of these out with a solder sucker now. I'm just being stubborn. This iron just doesn't feel as hot as it should. Sounds very empty. Okay, where's the solder sucker? I'm just going to try solder sucking these two out quickly. See if that works any better. Might be a little difficult for you to see side on. I can barely see myself. Okay, hopefully that's on there well. Okay, I'm not too sure if that cleared, but I'll try the next one and then have a look. Do you have a brush cleaning? I don't. I use a sponge because I am a complete savage. I do need to get like a brass one, but I know I need to get like a proper brass and not one off AliExpress. I know they cost like a lot more money, but it's fairly good condition, the tip. Let me try and focus on this, you can actually see it. This way. Yeah, I think I have to get like, I think it was a Nano maybe recommended, like the Heiko ones, like a 3-pack or something. Did I actually clear them out? I think I kind of cleared one, but I feel like that'll probably just wick now. Looks so dry. Yeah, it is looking a bit dry today. Normally it looks much better. I might like tin it up a couple of times and clean it. If not, I find dipping it into this stuff helps. It's just raws in, but it's ridiculously smoky. Yeah, normally it is looking a little bit oxidized at the moment. Let's see if I can clean this up a bit with some solder. I've been tempted to get some of that, like, I think it's like tin, stuff for tin here. Like renew the tips. Yeah, it's definitely not performing the way it should right now. Yeah. Yeah, the solder's taken to it, but it's not flowing as well as it normally does on this tip. I do have some others I can like switch to. It's getting though. It's getting there though. I've tinned it and cleaned it a couple of times. The solder is starting to flow a bit better on the tip now. I think that looks a bit better. So a bit of solder on it. See, like blobs, it is flowing kind of though. I don't know if you can see there. Flex is burning a bit on there though. If I give that a quick wipe and then show you. Do you think that is okay, or I do have another one I could switch to? I think is like exactly the same. This one here that I've never used. I've been tempted to invest in some better soldering tips, like some higher quality ones, but until I think learn to care for them properly, then it's probably not the best idea. So that's why I got some like cheap ones for now. Okay, so we can actually get this one clean now. And that felt a little bit scratchy there, which is not good. Never like feeling scratching when you're on the when you're trying to wick. I thought this would have been a much quicker job. Okay. Just try and get these cleared. I don't even know if that one came clear or not. Can't see. Doesn't look like it's fully cleared. I might try this other soldering braid just to see if it's any better. I don't think it's gonna be any better. I don't know, it does look more dusty though, which I think is the flux. Oh, it doesn't cut as well though. You cut it and it breaks into a lot of tiny little fibers. We'll see how this I was going to say AliExpress, and this is Amazon whole soldering braid. Doesn't look super bad, to be honest. Let's put a little bit of flux on there. Definitely going to have to pick some more flux up. I have been debating making my own flux. But then when I was looking, I know you can make it with like pine rosin and stuff like that. But I was looking at doing the no clean ones, and you need like, oh, I can't remember what it is, but it's some kind of chemical process or some process that's been done to the rosin to make it white, and a couple of other stuff like that. And I couldn't find any of them any of them ingredients online for sale. Because I think that'd be like a cool project I'd be interested in doing, trying to make some no clean flux. Yeah, I'm still not too sure in terms of hot air station what to actually do. Don't know whether to like wait and get a good one. Or I say a good one, like a decent enough one, or just like a cheaper one. Which hot air station do you use? Okay, let's see if any of these are actually cleared, because these look scuffed. Don't think this middle one is. No, that one looks a bit janky. It's got a bit of solder in there. That one's not cleared out either. So these don't look great. It's a cheap one for a long time. Did it work okay, or did you like struggle at all with it? No, that one was clear. It's this middle one here, wasn't it? Okay. No, so I got used to this. I got used to it so much I couldn't do anything. I could do anything with it when I doing these ones. Oh, okay, that's good then. So you're currently using the Arden as well then. Everybody seems to use that one. It seems to be like a very popular one. The only thing I just thought about as well, I'm using a slightly larger wick now, so I don't know whether I should knock my temperature up, because it's got a larger thermal mass than the wick I'm normally using. It might go up by 10 degrees. It only just occurred to me that this bigger wick. Hey, what's happening, James? You okay? How's things? You doing good? I'm still struggling along with this controller. It's going worse than yesterday, which is typical. Whenever I like solder and it's not live, I have no issues, and then try to solder live, and nothing wants to go right. Yeah, I figured it as well why the stream doesn't look like super amazing. I'm going to have to look into it. It might be just because the way I'm outputting from my camera. I think the stream is outputting at 720p and not like 1080. But the camera can do recording onto the camera itself 4K 30 frames. And like 30 FPS is fine for this kind of stuff. But I don't know if that's only when it's recorded onto the SD card. Can we get this one cleared out? I think I see some movement in the solder there. No, didn't clear all the way. I think this wick might be a bit large for this. I don't know. It just seems like it's getting in the way a bit, this other wick. I don't know, because it did also seem to work. 1080 60. Do I need like 60 FPS for like streaming this kind of stuff then? Because I know a lot of like television and movies and stuff are like shot at like I don't know, shot at, but they broadcast or shown at like 25 to 30 FPS. Just so there's like that natural kind of like motion blur when you like move stuff. I do play like 60 FPS and above for like games. But also my internet's not like super good, so I'm thinking if I'm doing like double the frames, that's going to be like double the, I don't know if it'd be bitrate, but it's going to be like double the data or whatever that I'm going to have to send. And I'd also like to get a Twitch set up at some point. It's nice to have a higher frame rate moving around and the microscope can tell. Oh, okay. I think the microscope only does, oh no, it's 3K or 30 this one is. So I'm not too sure. I think I might be able to do 1080p 60. I haven't really potzed around with the microscope at all or anything. Oh, hi Slawstack. What's going on? I'm hoping that these are cleaned out enough to what you call it. Multitasking's not my strong point. Oh, hi, 8-bit repair. Welcome. Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm little tiny bits left in the holes and not going to cause any issue. I think they're clear, these ones. I just don't know if this one here, if the, oh, and hot cows is here. Damn, everybody's popping by. Welcome. So that's that side all cleared up. Sound to a right old party in here. Okay, I should probably quickly grab a stick and see if they actually fit or if I need to desolder them like little bits which are left in there. Need more mic volume. Okay, no problem. I can knock that up a bit. Let me know if I end up knocking it too high and you can hear me breathing and stuff, because that's the only thing I was like conscious of. I'm gonna knock it up by like I've got +4 decibels on there now. Let me know if that's any better at all. Yeah, I noticed that when I previewed my stream back the other day. I'll go up even more again. Is that any better? I can knock it up even more on the Rode mic, but I've just done that with an OBS. But it is capping yellow on my end now. Go to -2 dB. Wouldn't that turn it down now? I've got a just says 6 dB, so I'm assuming that's plus 6 dB. So that should be 2 times louder than it was originally. If I remember correctly, I can't remember. Isn't it like double every 3 decibels or something? More again? Okay, I can knock it up more again. I just want to be like clipping into the red on the little meter at the bottom. Is that better? I just want too much like background noise and stuff as well to be coming through. But I think can you get like some kind of additional software for like noise and stuff? Oh, hi Michael de Lima. Thank you very much for subbing. Much appreciated. Oh, hi Squish Worms. Damn, it's 12 people in here. 6 dB, plus 6 dB, plus, oh, it's plus 6 dB and plus 60 volts. Go up louder. Okay, 1 second. Now, let me just knock it up on the receiver itself. Because I've got it set to like -6 on the receiver right now. If I put it up to this, is that better at all? Oh, hi Claw. And Sean. Hi there. Is that audio any better now? How if I put this the right way around when I need to flip the board around for this? Andy, hello ladies. Is that like better on the audio and stuff? I need to clean that. Let me clean that first before I put these sticks on there. And then I'm getting flux everywhere. I'm not too sure if I said hello to you already, Hotcast. So hello if I didn't. My memory is absolutely atrocious. Okay, so hopefully the stick fits in and I'm gonna like desolder anything else. Oh, let me just check that these are straight first. Whoa, what the? I'm not too sure if you guys can see that on that stick. Oh, hi Russ. Welcome. I don't know if that's not pushed in all the way, but this. Okay, yeah, it wasn't pushed in. It just made like a nice clicking sound. That could have been why I couldn't get in there. I can't tell if it's going in. Oh, raid. Oh, damn. Yeah, I seen Rusty Russ was streaming earlier, just before I started. Okay, I think that's actually gone in there nice and flat. Let's just check the other side. I don't know, the only thing with these, number test. Okay, 1 sec. Squish is getting ahead of yourself. Number 69. Oh shit, I need to count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's the same random numbers. '96. Okay, I can see Sloth saying 96, but I don't know. I feel like it's like around 20 seconds or something. Where's Pico? Oh yeah, I know. That's why I said it. I remember Pico being obsessed in Andy's chat with it. I thought I'd pick a good number to keep everybody happy. I was going to pick number 1 because I'm that original. Okay, let's stick these new sticks on here and see how this goes. You gave up over the 2 seconds. Yeah, I gave up because I was like super confused because everybody was saying like random numbers. I was like, did they actually hear the number I said or not? But I should know better. People are just trolling. But I was still counting like in my head, kind of. I counted like 16. Yeah, I think it is like about 20 seconds or something like that. I can try again if you want to. I'll say the number 42. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, about 22. Yes, that's quite a bit of delay. Compared to Andy's like 6 seconds. I think you must have much better internet than me, Andy. Oh, well, that was messy. Okay. Let's get rest of these. I'm gonna have to move this microscope slightly up, I think. Where's face cam? Yeah, I've still been debating whether to get like a face cam. I do have a webcam that I can potentially use for a face cam, or it could be the ultra low latency mode. Yeah, I don't think I've enabled that. Somebody said about that yesterday. I think on the latency I just had it like, I think it was like normal, because I was like, oh well, that sounds right. Normal's good, isn't it? And then I just didn't bother to check anything else after that. That one doesn't seem to want to draw. Okay, it was Sloth who said it, was it? Yeah, I remember it being mentioned yesterday. I completely forgot. I'll try to look into it before the next stream, just to see. Oh, I thought I might have caught that cap then. I'm very close to it, and this is a very large tip doing this. I did buy smaller tips. Well, I thought I bought smaller tips, but it turned up and it was the same size. So I don't know if I made the mistake or if AliExpress sent me the wrong thing. Is there enough solder on them? Maybe. Sometimes I see your face right in the chocolate. It's beautiful. Nice. Okay, I think that's all of them done. This one looks a little bit ugly, so I just try to check a little bit more in here. I think losing my voice. I did an unbox stream once on. Oh, okay, on Cartha's channel. We're gonna have to check that out. I think no, some of them need redoing. I think just the ones on the right hand side. Just add a little bit of flex there. Just quickly redo this one. And this one. Where's Cartha's channel? Yeah, I don't think I've seen his channel, to be honest. Is he hiding it from us? Let's see if I can get this one to drop down. I think that's okay now. You like to blow stuff? Ooh, I like watching panic fire and explosions. I still don't know if the one on the right looks okay, to be honest. It looks a little bit too domey for me. But I do not want to keep adding heat over and over to these thumbsticks. I look a little bit cold. Can we see any solder on my leg on this side? Oh, we can, I think so, yeah. So, I guess it has gone all the way through. Just says Cartha Electronics, okay. Yeah, I can see solder coming up on them, so I think they're okay. What does everybody think? Does everybody think they're okay or not quite right? Because sometimes I don't know if I'm just being like overly fussy. This is bike is an avatar. Okay, I'll have to check that out, especially if he's got like videos of him blowing stuff up. Is he like accidentally blowing stuff up? Or like purposely blowing stuff up? Like I'm trying to repair something and it blows up kind of thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still not 100% on all of them. They look okay, but this one here, here, I can see solid coming through the side, but it looks a bit too domey for me. But these ones are really hard to solder because the legs on these are about 1mm shorter than what they should be. Like the Alps ones, they're like about 1mm shorter, so it makes soldering them so much easier. So I'm surprised this one, they're all fairly even. Sometimes you get like barely anything poking through the board on these ones, but they are TMR. This can be deliberate. Oh, okay. Like, well, they're shorter. Because I find it makes my life more difficult with legs being shorter on them. I think this is clean. I don't know if I'm just being a bit OCD now. Is that a bridge between these two? I think I have a solid bridge in between these two. I can't quite tell. Let's have a look. Try and get some light in this we can actually see. No, it's not bridged, but there seems to be some solder stuck there. I don't know if I've like scraped some of the conformal coating off here, or if it's just stuck on top of it. Maybe I scratched some of the coating off there, but it seems fine. Doesn't look great, but it does it into the board. Seen a bit of damage there, to be honest. The edge of that board doesn't look great. Your life is hard though, short legs, yeah. Oh, I've completely moved that the wrong place. So yeah, this side I think is probably okay for now. I'll come back and give it like another quick clean after I've done the other side. I've also got the controller gels just sitting in the ultrasonic cleaner right now, so I do need to go and take them out at some point shortly. Let's flip this board over, move this microscope up a bit, try and make this a bit more visible for you guys. Hopefully that's okay. Oh, thank you, Squish Worms. Yeah, I was struggling to wick these earlier though. It's a lot of adjusting to do on this. What's it called? The PCB holder. It's really finicky. Be nice if there was one that just like automatically clamped onto things with like some springs or something. Or clips, I don't know, just something that's a bit easier. Okay, I gotta now somehow hold this and apply some salt at the same time, because this one is not held in as well as the other one, because the holes are clearer. Let's just see if we can feed some solder in while holding the underneath and pray that it's flat. Let's have a quick look, hopefully it is. Um, I think so. Oh no, no it's not. Doesn't look flat enough by there. Maybe, but that might be acceptable. Yeah, I think that's probably acceptable enough. Pigeonhood. Pigeon like a childhood nickname. No, no. It's just I was struggling to come up with like a name because I was thinking, yeah, it is strange. It's kind of like meant to be like the point of it. It's just like I wanted something that just like didn't make sense. Like you say, like pigeon milk, and people be like, pigeon what now? Because I was gonna have something with like fix or repairs or something like that, but then I thought it's not gonna be just like fixes and repairs and stuff. I'm gonna do. I got like plans to like just like some other random stuff, basically like making bits and pieces. I might do some DIY and stuff on you. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna film that or not. Look at my soldering iron just like shot up to like 400 and something degrees there. I usually add a bunch to the iron and then tie. Yeah, I try that sometimes, but they don't always want to take the solder when I tin up the tip loads. It doesn't like never want to transfer enough. You're gonna milk a pigeon. Yeah, that's the next video, guys. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see me milk a pigeon. You do not want to be missing that. Okay, I think that's tacked on. Do pigeons have nipples? To be honest, I don't know. I don't think they do because they're like birds. I don't think birds produce milk, but I could be wrong. If pigeons do produce milk, then I don't know. I'm gonna look stupid, even more stupid. And I also wanted something when I was coming up with like an idea for a channel name that could have like a good logo or mascot or something like that. And I just thought a pigeon with udders was like, it was quite funny. So I thought if I ever go around to like doing merch or something, I thought there could be like some funny variations and different like illustrations or plays on like mascots or characters I could potentially do. I don't know if anybody would actually walk around with a hoodie or something like that with a pigeon with udders on. You might get some strange looks. Okay, just look, they do listen on the normal. Oh God, which website were you looking on? Were you looking at one of them ones which you need to like show your ID before looking on it? Like pigeonlovers.com or something. Just add a little bit more solder into this one. I don't know. I think that's okay. I'm always worried about solder cracking and stuff because they take like a lot of like physical stress and stuff that some sticks do. Composed of roughly 44% protein, 40% fat, essential laxatives, and immune enhancing factors. Ooh, immune enhancing factors. I'm definitely gonna have to start chugging me some pigeon milk. Claw will be perfect for my mug collection. Nice. No pigeon cheese. I didn't even think of making pigeon cheese. Maybe if you get some pigeon milk, you can turn it into pigeon cheese. That's definitely an idea for a future video. Making pigeon cheese. Hopefully the RSPCA don't come after me. Oh, this board is super sticky right now. Might have used a little bit too much flex. Actually, no, I don't think I put any flex on these things, just some of the solder. Maybe I didn't clean it fully before. It feels awfully sticky in this area. And I'm totally missing some of the silk screen on here for the test ports. So I hope that I never have an issue with this controller and I have to like, just notice this one needs redoing. Nice. Is there there's probably not a pigeon emote, is there? Or emoji, I'm not too sure what the correct term is. Okay, yeah, them ones don't look as good. I don't know, I'm not 100% happy with them. I don't know if some of them need redoing. Like the two grounds on the potentiometers. Pigeon better watch out for Falcon. Yeah, I know. It'd be like Battle of the Birds here now. Which one is it? This one here. Let's just try. Put a little bit of heat on there. I don't know if that's even in focus. It just feels like it's slightly out of focus. It does sound Welsh. Yeah, I am Welsh. Just a tad. I need some solder on my eye again. Oh, there's Falcon. Hello, Falcon. I didn't even... Were you in the chat all along, or did you just join? If so, that's perfect timing if you just joined. Jay fixed it at some point. What's that, like one bird, one cup, is it? I've not heard of that one. Which one am I doing? Okay, the one's over this side of the board. I don't know. Is that okay? I think it is. Yeah, I think that's okay now. The legs are just short on this. It looks a bit janky. It's just triggering me a bit. This should be okay, I think. And if you can use pigeon milk as flax, there's only one way to find out. We're gonna have to give it a go. I was saying earlier, I was debating whether to like try to make some flax. But from what from the research I've done, I know you can use like pine rosin and stuff, but then I don't think that's a no clean flax. You can use some kind of rosin or some kind of pine rosin, but it has to go through like a certain process to make it like white or something. And then you can use that as like a no clean. Oh, I don't know, that one looks a little bit... I don't know if I'm being too picky here now. And if I should just stop parting with them because they're fine. I think these are probably okay now. I think I'm just faffing about too much. Activated. I can't quite remember what it was called. It was like some ridiculously long. It was a bunch of like long scientific names and stuff. And you can use like glycol and stuff. Like I know you need like isopropyl alcohol. Oh no, that one looks that one looks atrocious. I can't leave it like that. I'll have nightmares about it. But yeah, if I can get any of the ingredients that I want, or as I need for that, then Ace makes. Oh, does he really? Okay, that's better. I can live with that. Maybe I'll have to have a chat with him sometime about it. Because it'd be nice. I just like to make just like random stuff. And I just thought that could be something. Sometimes he bottles it as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Does he do that on stream then, like the bottling and stuff? Because I think whenever I've seen the streams and stuff he's done, I think most of them I've caught him doing like mods and stuff like that more than anything. Let's switch to the overhead camera now. Where is he? Oh, nice. Was that just like a rosin, like a standard rosin flex, like a yellowy one that would look like this kind of color? You can't get them lighter by adding more like alcohol and stuff, from what I've heard. Yeah, rosin alcohol. Yeah, it's like a standard one. I was looking to try to make like a no clean one. Apparently, you need like ash or something or other. I don't know, it was some kind of process that had been done to the rosin to make it like a lot paler. And it was like almost white, and then you can use that and you get like this kind of color flux you end up with then, the no clean one. But I couldn't seem to get my hands on any of the ingredients. But it seems like that. I've noticed that more and more over time now in the UK. You used to be able to just like buy all sorts of stuff. I forgot what it's called now, but it's something you can use for bleaching wood, and you can't even buy that anymore. But luckily I've got like a bunch of it. It's really good for like rust and stuff too. Yeah, so there's alcohol around. Yeah, I need to get some isopropyl alcohol. I'm running very low. We've got like that much left. And I'm in a spray bottle, and it's just on the floor currently with the lid off. I'm just asking for it to be kicked over when I get up to go and get the parts. So I think this is all okay now. Sounds expensive. Yeah, actually I take that back. I did find one place, because when you said squish that it sounds expensive, it reminded me. When I had a look, the one place I managed to find one of these ingredients was on Made in China, the website, but it was like over £1,000. I was just like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm not spending £1,000 just to pot around, just to make some flux, just for fun. Okay, so liquid damage, it can be good not to clean it from the board as acts like an insulator. Okay, will it not do any further damage then? Because obviously I've got this board here, which has got like a bunch of like water damage. I don't know if it's water damage, or you'd say there might have been like flux stain damage on it. And I don't know, it just bugs me. I like things to look clean if possible. So I can move this out of the way now. I probably should clean this before putting the board down here though. Dirty and everything up. But it turns out my tweezers have run away from me. Oh, never mind, they're literally right in front of me. Oh look, Ace is here. Hi Ace. Hi Charles, yeah, he's giving out all your secrets, Ace. He said he's going to break into the Ace vault and steal the secret flux recipe. Somebody told me it contains 11 herbs and spices. Okay, picking up these with the trees, this is not smart. Yeah, Ace is in the house. I'm going to quickly chuck these into the bin. Also, one up and coming project. Let me just quickly wipe this first. I do have planned while I remember. which I have been putting off because I just feel like I'm going to screw it up somehow. Because I don't think the adhesive I've got fits correctly. But I'm just going to have to figure my way through it. Let me clean this and then I'll quickly show you guys. Well, a couple of projects, but this is one that I need to do sooner rather than later. It is a foam repair for this phone here. So I'll show you the screen first. So as you can see, the screen is yeah, very damaged. And if I flip it to the side, yeah. It's just a tad bent. I'm surprised it's fully functioning. Works without like any issues or anything. But I do have these here. I don't know whether I'm going to attempt this on stream or if I'm just going to try and do it off camera just so I can concentrate better. Because yeah, it might be ridiculously stressful. Yeah, but on the phone, yeah, that's how I describe it half the time. But I do have a adhesive, which I don't even think is the right one, to be honest, and this is like about 1 millimeter or 2 longer than the case. Oh no, it fell out of my pocket as I was getting into a car and I slammed the car door shut on it. And it got trapped between like it's called the shut and the return on the car. So yeah, basically it was put into a car door and slammed. But I have a replacement screen here and mid-frame. But I need to like take everything out of here and transfer whatever I need then into this one. Like the SIM card tray, I think some of the buttons and cables, and I know I've got all the buttons on there. But yeah, I need to somehow get all the stuff out of here into here, and I don't even think this is the right adhesive, to be honest. And I also think I need one for the back. I have some acrylic tape here, so I'm just hoping I can use that, but that's probably only going to be good to stick down on. That's one way of trying to fold. Yes, it is. This card, this finger in the card. I have slammed my car door in the finger 3 times over my lifetime, I think. One time the car door was like locked, and yeah, it's very, very painful. Yeah, this is like acrylic tape. This red stuff just comes off. So I think that might be okay to stick the battery back down and stuff. I might put a new battery on it, and that might come with adhesive. I haven't bought a new battery yet, so I don't know. No, I've never ever fixed a phone before. So I'm thinking it could be quite stressful. I might absolutely regret attempting it, especially because it's my only phone. But my plan is to like back everything up first, and if it comes to it, I'm just gonna have to purchase a new phone. But I'd like to at least try to get this one up and running and get some more use out of it, rather than just wasting money on a new phone. So that will be something that I'm hoping to attempt either in an upcoming video, because even if I don't do it on stream, I'll definitely record it. At least that I can edit out me like cursing every 2 minutes and stressing and raging. So I'm going to quickly, 1 second, I just plug my phone in. And knock everything over. My phone's just telling me it's going to die in 30 seconds. Okay, that's plugged in. Okay, I will be back to the computer any second now. I'm just quickly grabbing all the stuff out of the ultrasonic cleaner. Just going to grab a box quickly. And I will bring all the parts back to the stream, to the camera. These are all the parts of the case that we, I don't know why, but I think maybe a church owned this controller. That's a random thing to say ever. For some reason, it just smells like frankincense. Like, you know, when you go to like, I don't know if anybody has been to church or goes to church, something like that. They normally go around with like that big burner thing, burning like incense, like frankincense. For some reason, everything I'm pulling out of this ultrasonic cleaner right now after this controller's been in, it just smells like frankincense. I feel like I'm in a church right now. Hopefully I don't forget any of these buttons. Okay, I've almost got all of them. I think that's all the buttons. So I will. These are definitely going to need isopropyl. Ace, not today. Let's have a look what I missed. Yes, okay. I think I missed some chalk. Oh, that one's still got like grime or something on it. Gonna spray some isopropyl alcohol onto this. Just got some isopropyl alcohol in like just a spray bottle. Doesn't want to come out. There you go. It's the second stream. The first one was last night. This is just a continuation of the first stream because it got quite late. I think it run on till about like midnight, I think. So this is the just like a part 2 basically of the stream from last night. This is the same controller, so I wanted to try and get it finished. Okay, that smells better now. It doesn't smell like frankincense now. I have no idea why that controller smelled that way. But now it just smells like isopropyl alcohol. So I know it's clean. I'm gonna have to change my my water now with all my ultrasonic cleaner, which is a shame. I'm not too sure if anybody else uses an ultrasonic cleaner, if they've got any recommendations for like cleaners and stuff. This is the one I use a very, very tiny amount with some dish soap when I'm cleaning plastics, because this one is meant for cleaning PCBs, and then I use a proper dilution of this if I ever need to clean PCBs, which I've done once or twice. I got this one from Amazon. It's like really hasn't got much information on it though. And these can be winning iPads next stream. I think he is. I'm looking forward to the pirate stream though. It's going to be good. Alrighty. Yeah. He needs to get a green screen so you can put like a pirate ship behind him. I don't know, this one spent a while in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I'm not 100%. iPads and the pirate ready, yeah. He's definitely going to have to get a parrot. I would prefer an African grey parrot. I would prefer African grey, but any parrot is fine. Okay, so you into parrots here? Oh, look, there he is. What you call a soldier with no legs. Oh my. Oh God. Is that because he's got no X and Y? Or am I misunderstanding the joke? I need more space on this desk though. What do you call a spider with no legs? I don't know. I was thinking of like a different one. I don't even know if it's a joke or not. It was like, what do you call like a spider with no eyes? And it was like Spooder or something like that. Like Spooder Man. I worked out in your link. We're all waiting for the punchline for 8-bit. He's just going to leave us hanging, I think. Just a rage bait joke. Just like knock knock and walk away. It's 0 to 10. What I do need to do, which I noticed on the front of the case when I took it out, these like little rubber things, or they're not rubber, they're foam, so the doesn't like bang and clang against the case. It gives it a little bit of cushion in. Why does that one still look a bit dirty inside? Be gone, dirt. You've been ultrasonic cleaned. There should be no dirt anywhere on this. Okay, with parrots, yeah, they do need like, you kind of do and don't need to give them constant attention. If you don't give them constant attention, they will just turn into arseholes and they will pluck. My family, my father raises or breeds like parrots and stuff. I absolutely hate, not all birds, but just the ones he has. They just don't like, I think they tend to like bond to one person and then they like hate everybody else. Parrots. Well, that's been my experience anyway. But maybe birds just like hate me. Apart from pigeons, obviously pigeons love me. YouTube deleted my comments. Damn it, YouTube. What were you typing? Just type it again, see if it lets you. I'm gonna like any moderation or anything on the chat. People can just type whatever they want to, as long as people are not like typing any like racist stuff. I couldn't care less. There's a parrot in Belfast with a spicy tongue. Name is Kilo. The African grey. Okay. I don't know if MD remembers that meme of that woman who lost their parrot. I forgot what the name was though. It was like a woman and her parrot had like a really like funny human name, and she was just like running around calling it. I completely forgot. My memory's awful. I can never remember anything. I had a budgie once think yeah, that's the problem with birds. Is as soon as the sun is up, they're up and they're like, yep, let's go. They're like bloody crackheads on payday. I have no idea why I even bothered to put the thumbsticks in. These are the older thumbsticks as well. So these are a older revision of the board than it must be. Because the newer models have, they look like this on the underside. And the older ones look like this. Doesn't like the common name for Dad. Too spicy for you, dude. As YouTube got a pretty good like filter on. Can you not just put like a bunch of slashes and stuff in between it? I know when I used to play the video game Ark, we used to just put double slashes. So whenever people were getting really toxic, just arguing with each other in global chat, it'd just be like, oh, the screen would just be slashes. Newer ones look stronger. Yeah, they do look much stronger. The only downside is they cost a lot more money. I think for like 100, because I've got my big bag of them here. Let me just move this controller here so I can get to the box. Bought this box here of 100 of them ones, but they cost, I can't even remember. They weren't quite double the price of the other ones for the same amount, but they were maybe like 60 or 70% more. But I wanted to, if I was going to be swapping them over, and also AliExpress can be a little bit iffy with quality, so I thought if I go lower end, they're probably going to be janky. So I tried to get the best ones. So the controllers basically look brand new once they've had a good clean, new thumbsticks and all that kind of stuff. Everything's new on it basically. I still haven't got around to like actually selling any. I've got to look into like how I'm going to handle like postage and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've got loads. I've also got some in a box here as well. I've already pulled out, just so they're easier to get to because they're on the bag. But I've got lots and lots of parts for the controllers, just because I don't want to be waiting like weeks and weeks for things to turn up. So I don't have many of the official ones because they're quite difficult to get, the ones with the logos on. But like these, I need to get way more of these because for some reason like 80% of controllers I get, they don't come with back covers because people lose them. Ooh, 3 pairs of TMRs. Which TMRs have you ordered then? Which were they for? Are they for like PlayStation or Xbox? Because I've noticed a lot of people tend to repair the PlayStation controllers and stuff more than anything. I don't know if like PlayStations are more popular, I'm not too sure. But they seem a little bit overwhelming when I looked at them. It's just like ribbon cables everywhere. It's things that can break, you know, when I'm pulling it apart very easily or forget where they go. Compared to like how simple this is. It's got like test points written all over it and everything. It's like super user friendly. It might as well be like a practice board. Yeah, these ones are for the I was able to get a battery cover on AliExpress and it looks fine. Yeah, I've got a bunch. These are battery covers. These are the ones without the logo and everything. But these ones, they're more white. So if I put one on, where's the controller back? Here. So here's the controller back. You can probably see even before I take it out of the plastic. Okay, which brand did you get? Like which particular like brand and model? So you can see the color difference. Obviously I understand this is new and this is older, so it's going to be slightly like yellow discolored from UV. But even after UV and like peroxide and whitening one of these and put one of these on there, they're still a different color. But when I've had ones with logos on there, yeah, it is hard to match. Because I don't think these are actually a white, the robot white. I think that's probably why they call it a robot white. It must be like slightly off-white or something. But white is like quite hard to tell because on its own you're like, damn, that's really white. And then you hold something else section, you're like, I guess that's not so white. But I do have USB-C ports as well ready. I've only got a couple of them though. I don't have a hot AC to actually put these on. But I do have 1 or 2 controllers that need them, so they're there ready. I've got all of these because people love leaving batteries in their controller and completely corroding all the contacts. Mostly the ones on the circuit board, or they just break or snap them somehow. So I've gone through more of these than I have the ones for the actual like case. These ones go on the case side. These are the ones which go on the board side. So I'll probably have to get some more of them. There's only a couple left in there. All of these I got from AliExpress as well. What else do we have here? Spare. I think this is a. Yeah, this is. Oh, okay. I could potentially use this to mod another controller if I didn't want to use a white shell. No, white shell. If I didn't want to use one of the carbon black controllers I've got like 2 or 3 of them, but I've got way more robot white ones lying around. So we could potentially use this with the transparent case for when I do a mod, or I might just use this and a carbon black controller. I'm not too sure yet. Okay, no idea about brand. They don't say anything. Okay. Yeah, most of the time you can tell the brand by like how they look, so I'll have to have a look at some point if you do them on stream or whatever. I'll try to have a look. Well, they're like cheaper ones because you can get ones for like £15, but like I don't know. I just think people are crazy paying that much. I think a lot of it is not the stick quality when it comes to the. I forgot what they're called now. They're not gin full. They're the other ones that begins with gin. No, it doesn't begin with gin. It begins with something like similar. They're the ones that come in a box and they give you like a pair, like the rubber joysticks and the 2 sticks, and they come in a fancy box with like a molded plastic insert, just more packaging, which is why you're paying like £15 for them mainly. I've got these ones here, back covers as well. But it turns out these ones for the Xbox One, and I could have sworn when I ordered them they weren't a good price. These ones I bought, I think 10 or maybe 20, and they were about under £2 per single module. That worked out, I think, like £1.90 odd or £1.60 odd, maybe. I don't know. It was under £2. I can't quite remember. The other ones, were then these ones were even cheaper again, maybe like 50% cheaper or more. Okay, 361 for 2. Yeah, they can be quite expensive. So I try to buy like a larger amount. These ones are cheaper again. I can't quite remember. I know these ones are under £2, like closest to £2. These are the newest ones apparently, the Ginful. I'm not too sure what version that is. These are the ones before. They've got like the transparent potentiometers. These ones, the Alps ones, the proper Alps ones, they were only about like 50 pence or maybe less each. And I've got a whole bunch of them. I bought like 2 boxes of these. I'm not too sure where they're at. The other boxes are here. So I've got. Yeah, it seems expensive, but they might just be because he's only bought like 2 of them maybe. Sometimes when you buy like a smaller quantity, they are more per unit. I think these ones I bought 20 of. And these ones I think I bought 10 of. Yeah, I've got a lot. I've also got some K-Silver ones somewhere as well. The K-Silver ones are pretty good, but I find the quality issue ones, so like, they're not like, yeah, I fixed a lot of controllers here. I've got, I'll show you a few I've got just lying around me now, which have been done recently, which are completed. So we have 2 which are in the process. This one's got a short on it, which I know kind of where the short is between J1 and this chip here, but I just can't figure it out. I've tested all the capacitors, everything seems to be fine. This one I think might have a USB fault when the USB is plugged in like in one of the directions. Then we have a carbon black one here, another robot white one here. They've both been done. I think I've got some work to do, maybe on one of the grips on one of them. We have 2 more here, which are done and completed with TMR sticks. And then we have got 4 more here. So we've got a black one and then the orange one. The orange one is a custom shell with orange sticks and everything. I buy them all broken. I didn't want to do like customer stuff before learning, but I'm at the point now where I would feel comfortable doing work for customers. Like if anything goes wrong, which I'm highly doubtful that it would, because I've done like about 15 of them. The first 1 or 2 were fairly rough. Well, the first one I done went really well, and I think it made me overconfident for the second one I done, which I butchered. But the second one I done, I was trying to use this soldering. Oops. Yeah, that just shows the quality of the soldering iron. Yeah, I was using this soldering iron and this really thick solder. It is wireless and it is leaded, but yes, some sick boy solder and this iron. And then I upgraded to the quick core one. I don't know if I'm able to, yeah, I can't pull that one up, but yeah, I've got a quick core T12952, so it's only a cheap one, but it's a million times better. So let's move this ratty sponge out of the way. That can happen also when you get good at something, I suppose. You can get complacent, yeah. And it was too early on to be getting complacent, only on my second one, because I didn't have, this at the time, so I don't have hot A still, and I didn't have this attachment at the time, so I was trying to remove some sticks purely with that Duratool soldering iron. And it was the most painful thing there. And then I resorted to using a pair of these to try to pull them out as well. So that shows what kind of stage I got to of frustration. It was just like, you need to get out them sticks now. I'm not messing about with you. But luckily I did rip part of some pads or traces, not traces, sorry, some of the pads on the top of the through hole, but on the other side it was still fine, and the barrels were still fine on the insides, and it was like one or two of them. Any tips for using the stick iron? Yes, when I'm using this, always make sure to, well, a couple of things. Pre-tin your board first, try to mix in some leaded solder. Try to even like add extra solder, because the more solder you have, the more chance you've got, because obviously these holes are much bigger than the actual legs. So unless you're making direct contact with them legs, no, not all the legs might be getting hot or melting the solder, even though you're pushing the actual bottom of this against the board and heating the board. So make sure that you add some additional solder, some leaded solder to the, the legs on the board for the thumb sticks you're removing. Make sure this is well tinned. Can you see like that one there? It doesn't look filled. So once it's heated up, just make sure to fill all the holes, because obviously once your leg goes in there, it's not good if all the solder's on the bottom, there's none actually in the hole. And you want to give it a wiggle, like left and right like this, because obviously the holes are being a little bit bigger. By giving it a little bit of a twist, you're just making sure that you're kind of like making full contact, The solder will kind of like bridge yourself. If you like happen to hit a part that's not making contact, it's just a little bit of wiggle. It shouldn't take too long. Sometimes it can take like, I don't know, like 7 seconds or something like that, but I'd be careful of how long you do hold something like this on the board, because it does transfer a lot of heat into the board. I'm assuming you could probably, if you held it for like 20 seconds or more, maybe pop go on the board. But it works really well for me. Okay, I've got a random, I think I know what I cut that off for. It's a carb LED there. I think what I was going to do is, this is my homemade extractor fan. I don't know if I showed this previously. It's got like a switch and stuff wired onto it. Just like a DC power. What I was going to do, because I wear headphones a lot and I keep forgetting to knock it off, I was going to solder wherever I was throwing that carb LED here. I was going to solder that, because it's a 12-volt LED, like on there somewhere, so I can visually see that I've left the extractor fan on. Because sometimes I come in here for a couple of hours after soldering, I can just get brrrr, and it's like, oh, I guess I've left the extractor fan on. And I just caught my glove in there. I do need to get a better extractor fan at some point, so I'll probably get a similar setup to what Nano has. with the, like I said, like an inline fan and then like one of them flexi hoses. Oh yes, I am Welsh. I was going to call myself, I can't remember what it was, I think it was like toast water. But I thought, I'm not saying the word water all the time, because people just like crack up when British people say water and Welsh people even more, water. It's like water, water. I just didn't want that all the time, so I thought, yeah, probably not the best idea. We need the mid frame now, don't we? Need to start like reassembling this thing and get it tested. Oh, you like the Welsh accent? Well, thank you, Squish. Can you say towel, please? Towel. I can say towel normally, and I can say towel. So it depends how Welsh you want it to be. Are these the right way around? Yes, they are. And the cable goes down this side, I think. Yeah, like that. Yaki da. Okay, so I think I can knock this. Now I don't need to knock the soldering iron off. Do I need to get all these parts here, don't I? Oh, that's what I was going to show first, actually. It was this on here. I'll show under the microscope now. It might be a little bit easier to see. They're not a one-for-one replacement, what I've come up with, for, where are they two for these? The little rubber, like bumper cushions. But this one is completely like disintegrated. But I have come up with, let's just clean that one off quickly. So yeah, sometimes these just get absolutely annihilated. So we'll make sure this is clean, and I will show you what I've come up with to replace them. They're not ideal, but when I looked at replacements on, let's move that to it. When I looked at replacements on like AliExpress, I think they wanted like, I don't know, it was close to £2. It was like £1 something. Per like one set of this. If I wanted a set for these and a set for the triggers, it would have cost me like £4 something, and I was like, yeah, no way. So what I have come up with is, I think it's called EVGA foam or EVG foam, something like that. I can never remember the name properly. But I bought all of this for like, I don't know, it wasn't much, very cheap. Like a couple of £. And it is very, very similar. Not quite the same, but it's quite similar. It's fairly good. Because I did try some other stuff before this. Raise a glass to toast another person. When you click glasses with the group, my friends. In Welsh, way to say cheers. It's lechi da. I think this is to yaki da. Okay. Yeah, I'm absolutely awful at speaking Welsh. When I was in school doing like GCSEs, I had a U in my Welsh GCSE. I can say like Shemai, and like pronoun da and some stuff like that. My accent is probably absolutely atrocious for pronunciation for Welsh words. Oh, that's what I was looking for. You must have perfect English. Well, you guess that is fair play, Andy. Maybe you're secretly Welsh. Yeah, this is the stuff I tried first. Don't know if you can hear that. And it doesn't come with like really adhesive on it. It's like absolutely trash, basically. So I had to replace the adhesive. The first controller I tried, I super glued them in, and when I was using the controller, the triggers, it just sounded like this. I was like, okay, yeah, that's not very good. a bit too clanky. So I then found some of this stuff, which if I tap the tweezers against this, you probably can't even hear it. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I think it's like EVA foam or something like that, I think it's called. Got it from AliExpress. It might say on the inside. No, it just says Wang Ching on the inside. Special tape. Wang Ching. But what you have to do with these, because it's got the adhesive on the one side, but the top, if you were just to repeatedly hit against that, it would break down, because it is, I think, a closed cell foam or something they call it. And you look at these ones here, you'll see it's like shiny on the top. So if I show you one that I've trimmed down, if I can remember which drawer I've hidden it in. This one here. Don't know if anybody remembers Blue Peter, Wang Cheng. No, I think it says like, yeah, Wang Cheng, but spelled with a Y. Like Wang Chen or something. I'm going to pronounce it as Wang Cheng. I hope you can see that there. Wang Cheng. But this is one I've done. I don't know if you can see the top of that one. If I can catch you with the light, see this one's shiny on the top. This is the same as this. This is obviously the back side, as you can see. And this is just sellotape, basically. So I got just like a tape dispenser, which is like some cellophane sellotape. And I cut a strip of this, and then apply some sellotape to the top, and make sure to, like, if you can get something round, to like roll it on and rub it on and make sure it's like on there well. And then just trim it all up. And then you can just trim these down to the correct size you need. This is a bit long, it's the right width. And you've got replacement for basically nothing. Like, I can get like millions and millions of controllers out of this, and not have to spend an absolute fortune spending like £4 a time or something stupid. And I couldn't find any sellers which were selling the actual official ones in bulk. They all had like a big sheet of them, or the picture was. All the sellers seem to use like the same one picture. But if anybody does happen to come across anything better, let me know. Because these are not a one-to-one replacement. These are thicker, but these ones are more resilient. I think I might just replace both sides, to be honest, so the triggers feel equal and the same. But they're the best workaround that I've found so far. I think as long as I replace both, then it should be fine. I'm worried that if I just replace the one, then they might just feel, I know, weird, because one is going to feel different from the other. So I just want to make sure that it's clean. And this will probably do both of these. Just really need one that doesn't leak glue out and cause a trigger stick. I know these ones won't leak any glue out or anything like that. The adhesive on these are really good. So kind of like just roughly eye that up there. Okay, I think that'll probably be okay. Let's have a look if I cut that to the right size. When I first was going to do them, I was like using calipers and all sorts to measure them. I even made like a little sketch and a plan I've got somewhere here. Where's it to? Here it is. I couldn't find any actual paper, so I was using like wrapping paper. It's quite good quality wrapping paper, as you can see how stiff it is. Yeah, I measured the original ones, the official ones with a caliper, and got all the sizes and everything. And yeah, you don't need to be that precise at all, as long as it's roughly the right width and size. So I'll quickly stick this one on now. Which I've never done with gloves before, so this might be fun. See if I can stick it here with these gloves. I'm going to have to grab a tweezers, I think, to do this, because it's just sticking to the gloves. Yeah, it just doesn't want to come off my finger. All right, let me grab a tweezers to do this. There's me wondering which side the adhesive is. Might be the bit that's stuck to my finger. Watch me not line this up well now. Oh. Just like trying to jinx myself in that. Okay, wait. You're gonna. There you go. That's on it. That's a little bit more difficult than normal, but that's on there now. So we just need to cut one for the other side now. So we'll just roughly measure that, somewhere around there. You could just put like a little score or mark or something on there, so we know roughly where it is. I'm gonna cut that one. I also do have replacement, what are they called, stickers for the back. I think I showed them off on the stream yesterday, but I will show them again for anybody who's missed it. You can buy them on AliExpress, the replacement back stickers, but I made these ones. So if anybody does want the file for it, I have what's known as a vector file. It's like an Adobe Illustrator file, and you can scale it up and down. You can take the logos off and reuse them and stuff. So we've got these. And these have got like a matte satin laminate on them. I think the original was done on like a resin laser printer or a resin printer or something like that. So we've got these replaced on here now. So now all we need to do is just reassemble the rest of this and we're done. I'll have to recalibrate it quickly. Yeah, the stickers for the back, yeah. I decided to make them because they turn out much cheaper. People want like ridiculous. I don't mind paying like reasonable prices for replacement parts. But when people are asking like a couple of £1 per sticker, or just something stupid, and like I think, yeah, basically the problem was with like most of the stuff I decided to make, it wasn't so much the price, it was the fact that there was no wholesale or no multi-buy on any of them. Any ones I could find, people are only selling like single units or stuff like that. So it worked out, like added up like quite expensive because you couldn't get like no multi kind of like discount or anything for buying a decent amount. When you're doing quite a lot of controllers, it soon adds up. So I decided to make them. So if anybody does need, like they're not a one-to-one, they're fairly close. I said like maybe like a 9 out of 10. But I would be up for trying to create some for like some other devices too. Because that's what I do, like part-time. Okay, yeah, replacing. If you can get like, if you have like a scanner or anything like that in your house, if you can get like a flat scan of it, and you can get that sent over with me on Discord, I can then use that as a template. So I'll put that like into Adobe Illustrator, that image, and I work directly on top of that to line everything up. Because if you take a photo with a camera, unless it's perfectly square in all directions, you're going to get, I can't remember the proper word, Basically, you're going to get elongation basically from like the lens, depending on which way you tilt it. Plus lenses around, so lines will like slightly curve. So unless you put in like what's known as lens correction, I think it is, like in certain like developing programs like Lightroom, you can pick which lens you're using. They can correct for the curvature of your lens. So you're not going to get as accurate result. But if you use like a flatbed scanner, just like an office scanner, you can have a printer scanner in one, or just a scanner, one of them type of ones. You're going to get a nice high resolution, flat face-on image. It's always the best way if you want to recreate stickers. That's what I done to recreate these ones. See these ones here? These are all OEM. The ones on the top. And we just took a high resolution scan of those, and then used that then to figure out what I needed and where they were going. No problem, Squish. Thank you very much for popping by. It's much appreciated. I appreciate everybody who pops by, everybody who contributes. So even if you don't chat, everybody who even just watches, it means a lot. I'm hoping to wrap this up as soon as I can now, hopefully by like around 1:30, because I've got a really early start in the morning. But I don't want to drag a simple controller fix, because I've got over 3 streams. So the next stream I'll either be doing like transplant into the other case, the transparent one, or I'll be doing maybe like a research stream where I'm looking into, because I've got like some old headsets that I want to turn into wireless, but I've heard like mixed reviews or some negative things about like some of the cheaper modules on AliExpress. But I've got like 3 identical old Turtle Beach headsets, so I'm going to do a little bit of research, and then I might get like different types of modules or different brands or something like that. And at least then, because they're the same headset, the audio quality should be the same on the earpieces, the speakers. And I can just do like a test and give a bit of feedback on which one works best. And if anybody ever does want to then turn in the old headsets into like Bluetooth headsets, because I don't know if anybody else has like lots of old headsets, because I used to buy like just like cheap Turtle Beach headsets when I was a game, and the wire always used to end up coming loose, and I would just go and pick up another one. What parts do we need next? Okay, I'm going to have to put the buttons on, which is a good thing. Night, I'm not too sure if I said night to whoever's leaving. I think I did. It was a Squish. Night if I didn't say. Yesterday on the stream, I'm not too sure if anybody watching caught yesterday's stream. This was broken. Yeah, they're quite cheap as well, because I also seen like an eBay listing for 3 headsets. Some kind of like, I think they were Turtle Beach ones or something like that, but better than the cheap ones I had. For like 3 of them for like £30 or something, which I'm assuming I don't know if they've got issues with the speakers, loose connection, or if it's just the wire or something. But I thought at that price it might be worth a gamble. But I've also got 3 of them. I've also got like a nice Razer one I would like to turn to Bluetooth, because that was a really, really nice. It was nice and comfy up the top on the padding, and the pad on the ears and everything was good. So I would be super chuffed, but I want to test on like the cheaper ones first, like the Turtle Beach I've got. Plus, because I got 3, I can actually figure out that it's actually the module that's better quality and not just the earpiece or the headset, before I then do it onto a better headset I care more about. But sorry, I'm not too sure if I finished saying, yesterday when we took this apart on the stream, this, I think it was this one. Yes, this one on this side was like completely snapped off. We've managed to repair that completely now. That is completely strong. Both sides, so we don't have to replace it with the replacement one we have. We can just keep that replacement one and save it for one which we're not able to repair. So I need to put all the buttons in and everything, don't I? Multitasking is not my strong point, trying to talk and keep track of what I'm doing, even though I've done this a million times. Watch me do something backwards. Won't surprise me. But yeah, I've got a couple of different ideas for like stuff. Also, we'll be trying to maybe do some Arduino projects. They won't technically be Arduinos, but I think that's like the generating term people use. Like microcontrollers or development boards, maybe. I'm actually atrocious at coding, so hopefully ChatGPT can help me with any scripts I would need for that. I've done some kind of home automation before with like LEDs and smart home and stuff. But it's nice just to have like an outlet where I could like share some of these like creative projects and hopefully, save other people some time if they ever want to do something similar, because I would have hopefully worked out what the best way to do is, or maybe not the best way, but what way not to do it if it goes completely wrong. And I seem to be missing a button, which is not good. I seem to be missing I don't know if that's the sync button or what you call it, to be honest. I'm not good with names. I'm hoping I've left in the ultrasonic cleaner. And it was just hiding under a bit like dirt, because I don't see it in my little plastic box. And I don't see it here anywhere. So I will quickly go and look in the ultrasonic cleaner and check if I've left it in there. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, I can see us over in the corner, thank God for that. And also my ultrasonic cleaner is still on heating. This guy was having the time of his life, just chilling in jacuzzi. All this time. Let's make sure my hands are dry now. Okay, there you go, nice and clean now. So let's get this one in here. Let me know if the focus and stuff is okay, or if I need to adjust it slightly, because it seems like I think that's better. Looks slightly out of focus. I would use autofocus, but then the way I'm using the HDMI out on the camera, I think it you'll see the square constantly popping around on the screen for the autofocus. In time, hopefully I'll get a better camera if things go well. I don't think this button's down all the way. No, it's not. So that's that all done. Now I can put the board in. So where did I put the board? Here's the bottom board here. So we can pop this in here. And it goes this way. No, it doesn't go this way. That's why it's not going in. Okay, why am I struggling so hard with this? There you go. I look like a real professional there. Right, let's just get one screw into this, just so the buttons don't fall out. If the screw wants to go in, I picked up the screw at the most awkward angle ever. And I'm just thinking, if I put this down, it's just going to push the buttons out and I'm going to have to line them back up again. So I can just grab the screw like this. There you go. We've got it. So just get one screw in here quickly. Just to hold all the buttons in place. So now, because too many times I've done that, placed that in there, flipped it over, and everything just completely falls out. So now we can put on the sync bar cover. I always forget the names and stuff as well. So I'm surprised I actually remembered that this, I think it's called a sync bar cover. I think that's what they'd be called if you were like looking for them to buy online or something. So just a tip for MD is trying to line these up, not to like mar or do it wrong. It's not super difficult. Line up the back side on this side first. Make sure the USB port is lined up, because once or twice I've put it on and it hasn't been on all the way, and I've had issues with like the bumpers and stuff. So you want to line up the USB port first and then push it down on the front side. should only click twice, but it clicked 3 times there because when I clicked it the first time, it kind of moved it to the way. So that's that on. And then you can place, oh, I'm doing things backwards. So ignore my bad advice there about putting this on first. To remove it, you just do the clip on this side and this side. You want to make sure you put your bumpers on first. I swear that's the first time that viewfinder thing has popped up all stream. If anybody else has seen it pop up at any other point I haven't noticed, let me know. Because I had that issue yesterday. So just push down there and then push on there. That is, oh. So that's also why this had an issue. I guess it was damage to the mid frame as well on this. So I guess that also needs repairing. There's a little bit of black plastic here. It seems like it has come off the clip to keep this on. This controller is just full of surprises, isn't it? So we will have to quickly stick this back on and figure out which way it goes. I'm pretty sure it's the flat side downwards. Yeah, yes it is. First time I've seen it pop up. Okay, that's good then. It's the first time you've seen it pop up. Because yesterday it was popping up a bit, but I think only after a certain amount of time it pops up. But then after it popped up the first time yesterday, it seemed to pop up a couple of times. Like every so often after that point. Can we get this bonded onto there? Okay, that's on there. But I don't know where the activator is. That's the only problem. So I don't know whether to put that on first or if I should have a quick look for where the activator is. For now, I'll just try breathing on it. Because I'm pretty sure the way, is it cryoacetate or cryo? I always forget how to pronounce the name for what super glue is. Cryanoacrylate. I think that reacts with moisture. And I think all the activator spray is like a moisture that like evaporates. So I'm hoping I can just like blow on it. And that'll be like a ghetto activator spray. It should start a chain reaction. But I really do need to find the activator because it works much better than stinky ass breath. But I think that's actually set. We'll soon see now when I push this on if it completely falls off. No, that's fixed. Nice. So if you're ever caught short and you can't find your activator, just breathe on it. Kind of works for very small amounts. I'm surprised it worked. That's what remembering science comes in handy. I watched I can't remember, some YouTube video about like when it was super glue I used. This is just Mitre Bond. It's from I think Amazon. You can get like places like Screwfix. It's just a general purpose super glue basically. They're all the same. Some have like maybe thickening agents or something like that, and maybe to make them less runny. But they're all cyanoacrylate. But this was like a 2-part kit. It came in like a spray can with an activator. But I do have some some kind of like acrylic basically, or something like that people use for like model making and kit making. That's okay as well. But I haven't got any UV or any 2-parts yet. I've used 2-parts in the past JB Weld, but I am looking to maybe try some like random ones from AliExpress. Maybe do like a test video, testing different stuff. Maybe I could do like a scientific test on it or something like that. I'm not too sure yet. I'm thinking maybe I could get like one of them, like a weigh-in thing that you can hang stuff off and it tells you the weight digitally. That's no problem, Chloe. And I could maybe get like some bits of plastic and maybe hang weights off it and see how much weight it could hold. I don't know. It's so well and good like looking at using like glue on different jobs and saying, oh, this one's really good, but like unless you're comparing like for like on things, it's hard to actually realistically tell if something's good or if it just works better on certain materials or certain job cases or environments and stuff. Like I know UV is probably going to be pretty strong, but I understand there's going to be certain instances where you can't use it because you physically can't get UV light to it after you've done it, like, you know, in a closed environment or something, where the light can't actually get to it after you've applied the glue. And I've quite often run into issues on controllers where it seems to be like, people like to damage this bit, like snap this a lot and stuff. I think it's like rage and people are just like slamming it down like this. Well, maybe they slam it down in all parts, but obviously this is going to be more susceptible to damage than the bottom grips or handles. So I think that's everything placed in today. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything, being tired. I was going to say hungry. I think I did eat when I came home. I purchased some cyanoacrylate style glue and also some solid-based rubber adhesive. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that rubber-based adhesive. Oh, that's the one thing that I always mess up on sometimes. If you ever put in these back in, always check that your cables are not trapped onto the board. Because once or twice I've trapped them under the very bottom board, screwed all 6 screws down, screwed the top board down with 2 screws, and then realised I have to take it all apart again. The best feeling ever. So we'll put the motors in. What I normally used to do is start from the top and work my way down, just because that's like the order I learned to remember the colours in: grey, black, red, black. But it's way more difficult if you start from the bottom and work your way up. You're kind of like knocking in the way yourself, or soldering a wire that's then going to get in the way yourself in the next step. So we'll quickly just move this iron to wake it up under sleep mode, give it a second to come up to temperature. I didn't wick these off and clean them, and it's kind of a bit late now to be doing that. So it will be fine, but I will just add a little bit of flux, because any of the flux that was in this solder that's already on the pads is going to be all gone. And it just won't flow properly, and end up with like a horrible oxidized connection. There you go, that should be okay. Making more work myself, I need to put the motors back into. I will give these a once over around the edges with some isopropyl alcohol. Just because there's like, I don't know, a bit of dust and some crumbs and, you know, stuff like that, just around the edges. Damn, some good quality assurance they on in the Microsoft factory, isn't there? Jeez, that's stuck on the wonk, isn't it? It's quite surprising sometimes the little inconsistencies you see in mass-produced products. Especially from like, you know, well-known reputable brands, where you'd expect things to be more consistent. That should be okay. So, I'm assuming everybody probably already knows this, but right is the big motor, and left is, I say right, it's technically the left, but if you've got a controller face down, it's just my right hand side, my left hand side when the board is this way down. And you want the wires poking on the inside, coming from that side. And to pop them in, you pop them so far down, and then they'll hit this little thing here. And the easiest way I found is to put one finger in here, and one on top, or two fingers, sorry, under here, one on top. You can kind of like push this forward while pushing the bottom backwards slightly, and it just pops straight in. Nice and easy. You don't need to use much force or anything like that. Just pop that in. It just goes straight in there. And they're ready to be soldered in. So once you've soldered this in, all we have to do then is quickly run a test on hardware monitor. And possibly, I say possibly, we're definitely going to have to recalibrate them in the Xbox accessories app we use for that. So it's grey, black, red, black. Okay, so I need black first from the bottom. Okay. So if anybody's got any recommendations for any tweezers to make holding wires flat to the board a little bit easier. I know these angled ones are meant to do that, but I don't know, the wire seems to like rotate if I try to grab it at too sharp of an angle. And the flat ones I've got seem too big. I've got some nice titanium ones that I've seen Zach Nanofix using in the video. But I don't use them for soldering and stuff much. These are mostly used for like prying and poking and stuff like that. They're really nice tweezers though. But I mainly use these ones, iFixit ones. I do have a cheap knockoff version of the iFixit ones, which are not far off the same quality. But just the quality control and finishing is just, it's not as good. But they're almost as good, and they're ridiculously cheap. So I could be as abusive as I want with these ones. I'm not really feel guilty. With these ones, I'd probably be upset if I damaged these ones, because they're quite a nice tweezer. They're the ones with the little, I don't know what you'd call that, but it allows it to like stay in line, so the tips are nice. They might come in handy once I get a hot edition to use more, but so far I've mainly just used them for scratching and prying because they're like titanium, so they're nice and strong. Okay, so now we want, it's just red, black, grey, black. Red, no, grey, black, red, black. So, black, isn't it? Next. So we'll solder on this black wire if we can actually get it. Getting a big waft of solder fumes there. So that's that side done. I'll probably give it a quick wipe before I move over onto the other side, just because the flux will be a little bit warmer and it should be a lot easier to clean. As I'm assuming probably most people already do know, but if you don't know, trying to clean flux while it's still warm is much easier, because it's going to be more of a runny, liquidy form than if you wait for it to the board to get cold and then try. So that's nice and clean there now. Now we've just got to do the other side. With this one, the soldering is done slightly different because of the way it interferes with this trigger here. So normally, when you open one and it's new from the factory, the grey wire will be coming from the outside and the rest will all come from the inside, which keeps them out of the way of this trigger. So let's start from the bottom with the black wire. Let's move that one out of the way. This one on. And then we need the black one. And then the grey one last. I'm guessing people are getting quite sleepy. I can see the chat dropping off a bit. I completely understand that. It is a Monday night and it is quite late. I will have to end the stream at some point shortly myself. I'm hoping to get this completed fully though. Did I just solder on the grey one there as well? I did. These cables, sometimes they're more grey. I say more grey. They're grey and black. They've got like a grey stripe down them. But it depends which way like they're orientated. Sometimes you can't see the grey. So I can get that soldered on with this wire out of the way. That should be okay there. We've just got this last wire to solder now. So we want to do this one from the outside. So we probably want to flip the controller over to do that. Okay, that one I'm not happy with. I moved it a bit too much, therefore solidified. They should be okay. Let's give it a quick clean up. Just because we don't want to spend in all night on the same thing. So we can move these wires down here out of the way. The one thing I didn't do is twist these wires before I soldered them on. So they are a bit more all over the place. What I'd recommend doing is as they come out here, just twist them a bit, leave enough so you can do what you need to. Just keeps the wires nice and neater out of the way. So the wires are all out of the way now. So just need to plug in the antennas now. The one on the right hand side goes on the lower one, which is J2. And the one on my left goes into J1. Sometimes these can be a little bit tricky with the gloves, because you're trying to do like a little micro adjustment or movement to get it just in the right place, and the gloves like to stick to the board. So we'll see how this goes. The first one went on really easy. There you go. Always struggle with gloves to get these pushed on. And another tip for anybody doing it, always make sure, if you're doing this controller, the little notches in the board there, make sure to push your antenna wires into there, because otherwise when you push the back case on, this bit here and across here is what goes down into this gap in the board, and you will end up just damaging them, potentially cutting all the way through them or damaging them, and then your wireless won't work on your controller basically. And who wants to sit there like all wired in, you know, stuck 1 foot away from your console all the time. So that is all assembled. Oh, the one thing I always forget to do, I haven't actually put the screws into here, so let's quickly put the screws into the top board, because so many times I forget to put the top screws in the the screws into the top board, and then I'll push the joysticks on the other side and then push out the board because it's not screwed down. So that's all done there. We can now grab some new thumbsticks. Put some new thumbsticks on with the new modules, new joysticks. Not too sure if I'm using the correct terminology for everything. The new thing for the thing. So they're on. These are nice, they're really nice and clicky. I don't know if you can hear that. They do have a really nice click to them, and they've got a little bit of travel before they click, the same as the Alps ones. Just my only criticism on these is the leg length being like slightly shorter, making my life more difficult than it needs to be. So let's stick the front of this on. So that's the front on. There is a slight tiny little mark there, I don't know if you can see it. I think that's a bit of damage to the plastic, but I will tomorrow, maybe off stream, maybe on stream, I'm not too sure, it depends. One of these magic erasers, just a little bit of profile, and I'll just give that one spot a clean up. The rest looks fine. And the D-pad needs a clean. There's a bit of dirt on there. So I'll get some brushes. This is the brush I was been using, Flex. So I give that a clean with the brush. Oh, we almost forgot to put this back on. So now we can line this up at the back, USB port, and then push that on. That's on. So that holds the bumpers down, because if you don't have this on, the bumpers won't click on the very edges. They'll only click on the very top part here. So this controller is almost fully assembled. Looks sharp. Thank you, Michael. Much appreciated. Just check before I pinch it down that there's no like cables or anything, because now and again you can't get a cable that can like pinch in the outside. So if something doesn't quite go together, don't force it, always have a look, because obviously these things are machined and manufactured with, you know, exact tolerances in mind. And you know, they're like bashing them together in the factory and stuff. So if something's not going back together, it normally means there's like a cable or something's not quite in there, right? Which I've learned not quite the hard way, but I have tried to screw something when it wasn't quite going together, and then like the D-pad wasn't like lying flat or something like that, so I had to completely take it apart again. So I've learned my lesson. So it's easier to, before I put the screws in, just open it back up and check kind of thing. And when I'm putting it together, I push it together. Obviously you don't need a lot of force because it is together, but that just helps to make sure that you've got everything lined up nicely and you've got less chance of cross threading. I also back spin the screw until it makes like a click, and then screw it in. By doing that, when it back clicks, you know it's in the right place. So we've just got one more screw to go, which almost ran away from us. Almost yeeted itself into another dimension, along with wherever all the small little capacitors go. That is looking pretty good now. We will need to put a back cover on it. As soon as I put the back cover on, it's going to completely trigger me, because it's going to be a completely different shade of white. So we will clip these on here. So it's nice to see when all the clips are on here and you haven't had somebody like mangle it open like a crowbar or something I don't know what some people use to try to get their controllers open. It's got to be a crowbar or screwdriver maybe. Yeah, let's grab a back cover for this. We'll have to try to get some more with the logo on. One, because the colour's closer, and two, just because I like things to look as, unless it's a custom case like the orange one I done, I want things to look as, you know, good OEM and official as possible. So that's a new back cover, which is going to be a different shade of white, which is going to be the most annoying thing ever. But I guess it's better than no back cover, and I guess you can't actually see it when you're playing. But every time I look at the back, it's painful. It's painful to look at. Just because it makes the controller look yellow by comparison. When it's not. It's a decent colour shade. It's slightly off. This potentially could maybe do it a once quick, like UV and whitening. But it's not bad. It looks clean and nice. It looks a little bit nicer on camera than it looks in person, in terms of like how white it is. Like if I do that, maybe it might happen. That just puts a lot of shadow there. It's looking nice. And once we put the sticker, once we know that it's all working, we'll put a new sticker over there. So we'll do a little test now quickly to see how it's performing before we calibrate it. That's just knocked on and vibrating, but did it vibrate how it should? I don't know, I felt a little bit weak. We'll test it anyway in the controller tester. Let me just quickly clean this desk, because I don't want to clean the controller and then put it down on here when it doesn't look 100% clean. Because that would be a bit counterintuitive to spend all that time being really OCD about cleaning it and then putting it onto a dirty work surface. So I will quickly, let's have a look. Let me just check controller testers open. Controller tester should be here. So we will give this a quick test. So we can see they are both off center, but they haven't been calibrated or anything yet. Both the triggers feel okay after the replacements. Both the bumpers work, whereas the bumper didn't work before because the plastic was broken. Yeah, I'm happy with them. That's working. These are all working. We test the vibration. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, I can definitely feel both of them vibrating. And we'll test the circularity before we calibrate. Ooh, they don't feel as smooth as the last lot I installed. This right one kind of does. But it feels a little bit more scratchy than the last one I installed. We'll have a look. That's understandable before calibration. Both of them being slightly off-center though is a bit abnormal. They're more off-center than I'm used to. So we will now open the Xbox app. 1 second, I don't have that open a minute. I need to open it. So we will switch over to the Xbox accessories app here. There you go. And we will configure recalibration. We need to update this first apparently. So this controller has never been updated. Or at least not to the newest version. That will take about 1 minute to update probably. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to update. Slowly getting there. I absolutely hate waiting for things to update. It's the most painful thing ever. Well, I could probably knock my soldering iron off now. We forget that we've done soldering. Late night brain. My brain has just stopped working. I'm fumbling over my words. It's my own fault for streaming so late. I wanted to try and get another stream in today. Try to get his controller finished and everything. And hopefully tweak the stream a bit more to maybe improve things. So today we've adjusted the audio level, so hopefully that's better, more clearer. Next stream I will see if I can improve the video quality at all. I'm not too sure if I can. If I can't improve the video quality, I'll look at trying to get additional light just to see if we can get things looking a little bit better. My favourite Xbox game I play, that's it. Yeah, I know, same. It's the game I've spent the most time on, definitely. And it'll always be when you're like really hyped to play a game as well. You'll be like, oh wow, this amazing update just came out, and you'll log on and it'll be like 80 gigabyte update. And you're like, what? Why is this update so big? My internet's not fast at all currently. I'm waiting to get fibre in the area. Once they get fibre in the area, I will be okay. But at the moment, I'm stuck to about 32 megabits. So large updates can just be, yeah, really, really painful. Nothing worse than sitting here watching an update as well. 100% finally. Okay, let's flip back over to the... Okay, finally it's applying the update now. I don't know how big an update, how much data they need to put onto this. It's only a controller. Maybe they're adding microtransactions. It's like, oh wait, do you actually want to use all the buttons on your controller? Subscription service per button. You want to use the B button today? Oh, so you're going to have to renew your subscription service. Now let's try configuring this and recalibrating left stick. That was mild out to start with. Ooh, and this one is showing quite far out as well. Ooh, that is not good. I'm hoping I can calibrate it, but I've never seen a stick that far out before. It's centered perfectly. Which I guess is okay. Recalibration on the right stick. But the centers are like massively out to start with. Okay, now let's have a look at the hardware tester. We'll see. Weird, hard, I can see, never mind, I'm clicking on undetected. I need to click on this. There you go. Okay, so obviously all the buttons are working, we've tested all of them. Let's test the circularity, because that's what we really want to see, isn't it? They're okay, not bad. It's probably acceptable. Let's just check the range. So we get in one in all directions. This right stick is looking a lot better than this left one, not to be honest. The error is higher, but that's roughly about what you want. With them kind of like red patches on the like 45-degree angles, I guess you'd call it. Like if you're looking at the clock, it'd be would be 10, like 10 to, 10 past, 20 past, 22, etc. I think they are okay, to be honest. what I normally do though is I just leave the controllers like sit for 24 hours and then I give a second calibration. And then normally just for fine tuning and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Nice and springy. Decent enough, no drift or anything. Decent enough error rate and circularity and everything. Nice, clean. This works plugged in both ways as well. Yes. And we've already tested that it works with the batteries, but I can do that again just to show you guys, because it's always worth testing everything, especially if you plan to sell anything. So we'll knock that on, and that should knock on and pay. So that pays no problem. And if I switch back over to the controller tester, as you can see there, I say switch back over, let me switch over to the controller tester there. And you can see that's working fine with the wireless as well. So that is a success. Let's take the batteries out. Do not want to be leaving batteries inside the devices. So what I will probably do now, tomorrow or off stream, I'll just, in about a day's time, I'll give this one more calibration just to make sure I'm happy with it. Give it another test. Put a sticker on here, and that will then be put into a box and eventually sold at some point when I figure out shipping and packaging and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm gonna end it around here. It's getting quite late. I think it's like 5 to midnight at the moment. I'm up in like 6 hours for work, so that's gonna be super fun. So I appreciate everybody who stopped by. It means a great deal to me. Everybody's support, everybody's popping by, chatting, just watching. If you want to leave a like, feel free to leave a like. Obviously, anything like that is much appreciated. The same subscriptions. Obviously, you don't feel obligated to do so, but if you do like it or enjoy, then feel free to. And I will. That's okay. Close like. Thank you for watching. That's the main thing. I enjoy doing the streaming, having a nice chit chat with people, and fixing things. So it's all good. Hopefully I can keep doing more of this and maybe have some more interesting projects. Yeah, the sticker. Is that the one for the game? The sticker for this, or the sticker for the Game Boy that somebody mentioned? Because I am in a bunch of people's Discords under TCF. So if anybody did want like a sticker, like drawing in or something, feel free to send me a scan if you're able to get one of one, and I'll happily draw one in on Illustrator for you. And could potentially be another project for me to work on, or something for me to do and share with you guys. But if you are on about the sticker for this, I will make sure to put one on, but I'm not going to quite do it yet. I will do that once I am 100% happy that the controller is working and everything's good. Obviously I've just tested it's all working now, but I like to let it sit for 24 hours, recalibrate it one more time, give it one more test. If I'm happy then, I'll then put the sticker on it, because it means I haven't got to open it back up again. There's nothing worse than putting a new sticker on there and then thinking, I might have to desolder that stick or something like that if it's been a bit inconsistent. I try to be a bit too thorough with stuff, but I just dread the thought of silencing somebody and them having an issue with it, because I would feel really bad. It's like to double, triple check everything basically. So anything I repaired hopefully shouldn't have any issues, as long as obviously it's used correctly and people are not like banging and bashing stuff and raging out with them, because yeah, things will break then. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here. I've got a couple of things I need to get sorted before I can go to sleep. I will hopefully be streaming again at some point this week. I'm sure I'll post them on the Discords when I am going live, and I'm sure like JFix James or Andy will probably let you guys know. They've given me great support lately. I'm not too sure if any of them are still left in the stream, but I'd like to say thank you to both of them, because I think it's through their Discords mainly that people have been able to see the link to my stream and stuff like that. So a big thank you to them, and a big thank you to everybody else who's tuned in as well. And I will speak to you guys soon. Have a nice rest of your night, everybody.